My channel is growing, and I have many new subscribers and viewers who don't know that much about me. I'm a former Toronto police officer, and I spent my entire career as a road cop. 24 years. I was awesome at what I did. I loved it. But certain people in any job who hold the upper ranks can ruin your career in a heartbeat, make your life a living hell. This is exactly what happened to me by this woman. An inspector who somehow worked her way up the ranks, being hand-fed by the chief of police. I won't show her face at this time, as I am suing the Toronto police and my case is before the courts. But after my case has concluded, the documentary I have been working so hard on for well over a year will be shown in its entirety for all to see. And you'll be shocked at what I've exposed. The story I'm about to show you is so similar that I can picture exactly what those officers went through at the hands of another police inspector. But not in Toronto. This time in Barrie. We, the public, need to start speaking out and demanding transparency from our police services. This is Mad Lab Press.
What started out as a preliminary investigation to get compromising information on another police officer up for a promotion with Barrie Police Service appears to have backfired on Inspector Valerie Gates. This according to documents obtained by CTV News. Gates, who is currently facing 2 counts of discreditable conduct under the Police Services Act, is accused of having misled, lied to, and withheld key evidence from investigators with the OPP Professional Standards Unit, who were tasked with looking into allegations Gates bullied and harassed other officers by engaging in gossip and insulting language in the workplace, and lying about the steps she took 4 years ago when conducting a promotional competency review. Revealing information coming to light tonight about the OPP investigation into Inspector Gates and efforts among Barrie Police's highest-ranking officers to assist Gates when she was accused of conducting an inappropriate and unapproved preliminary investigation that involved other officers.
I think that was probably a little bit...
Gates, a 27-year police veteran, including 23 years in Barrie, has 2 Police Services Act hearings scheduled for later this year, charged with separate counts of discreditable conduct, stemming from what Barrie Police said related to, quote, on-duty internal incidents involving other officers. CTV News has reviewed documents outlining what the Ontario Provincial Police Professional Standards Unit discovered when looking into Gates's conduct, when Gates found herself in trouble as she pressured a fellow officer to provide compromising information on another member of the service. All while Gates, quote, routinely met with and was being provided guidance by outgoing Police Chief Kimberly Greenwood, whom Gates, in her own words, referred to as a mentor and safe place.
Now, to add insult to injury, this former chief, Kimberly Greenwood, used to be a staff superintendent with the Toronto Police Service, where she used to work as a frontline response officer, child abuse investigator, and professional standards division. Then she was cranked to staff superintendent at Toronto Police Headquarters before they hired her in Barrie as their new police chief. Now, why is it that it seems a lot of corrupt management that comes from the Toronto Police have worked at the Professional Standards Unit?
To discuss the allegations of misconduct against her, the former chief retired from the service weeks before Gates' husband, Rich Johnston, became Barrie's top cop.
You heard it right. Rich Johnston, Barrie's new police chief, who's married to this Inspector Gates, who's now in a heap load of trouble.
CTV News reached out to now retired Barrie Police Chief Greenwood, who denied interfering in the OPP investigation of Gates. Greenwood, documents show, declined to participate in the OPP investigation, despite being offered several opportunities to speak with investigators in person, virtually, and in the form of predetermined questions for written responses, despite still meeting with Gates during this time period to discuss the Professional Standards Unit investigation against her in May of 2023. Greenwood didn't want to take questions from CTV News about the investigation.
As I said, you will speak to members of the Barrie Police Service in regards to this matter.
Greenwood telling CTV News she declined to meet with investigators because she was ill at the time. When asked whether she interfered in the investigation by providing guidance to Gates through a series of conversations in person and via text messaging, Greenwood said she did not interfere.
I'm asking is, did you interfere by counseling Inspector Gates at the time? And then when you said to her...
I did not interfere.
Right.
I advised her to follow up as she had been instructed, and that's all I'm going to say.
Text messages between Gates and former Chief Greenwood indicate a close personal and professional relationship that included Gates visiting Greenwood at her home to have a conversation, all while the two texted about Gates potentially being written up by her superior for failing to notify a supervisor while conducting a preliminary investigation into another officer's alleged misconduct. Referring to the complaint against her, Gates told Greenwood, "He knows you will be very upset when you hear and was thinking of driving to your house to tell you," end quote. Greenwood later replying, "I cut that off immediately." The OPP determined Greenwood would not entertain a chief's complaint being filed against Inspector Gates and concluded Greenwood, quote, "shut it down." Text messages reveal Gates had told Greenwood to expect a call from her superior, quote, "in regards to our discussion that we didn't have on Monday," end quote. Once the OPP reviewed Gates's work phone, concerns grew with Gates, texting Greenwood, "would you possibly be able to meet today? I thought the grievance was cut and dry, but the more I find things, I think it's not good." Greenwood agrees to meet, replying, "I'm available anytime after 12 noon. I'm sorry to hear. That is not good." Greenwood later telling Gates, "Is there anything I can do for you? I was thinking about this all day yesterday." The OPP Professional Standards Unit investigation concluded that Gates left out several text message conversations with another officer. Gates, when questioned about it, could not explain why she failed to provide what investigators considered critical evidence. The Professional Standards Unit substantiated a total of 4 charges against Gates, 2 each for neglect of duty and discreditable conduct. It is unclear why, after investigators substantiated the 4 charges against Gates, she was only charged with 1, or who in fact made that decision in December of 2023. Gates was subsequently charged with the 2nd count of discreditable conduct 7 months later. Gates, who remains on active duty as the head of Barrie Police's investigative services. Her Police Services Act proceedings have been marred by delays, with the defense claiming for months it required further disclosure from the prosecution. Barrie Police Service has not commented further on the matter, referring the matter to the OPP. Calls and emails to Inspector Gates' legal counsel with questions about this report have not been returned.
So to the left is Inspector Gates, the one who is under investigation, who should be shit-canned. She should be fired. Her husband next to her is the new chief of police for the Barrie Police Service, who also should step down because they had the tribunal session today, which lasted 3 minutes, and it was done through a phone call. And that phone call ended after 3 minutes. And guess what happened to her? Nobody knows, because the tribunal said that Gates had been dealt with and the case is closed. Go figure. This is Mad Lab Press. I'll see you on the next one.